Hi, everybody. Thank you so very much for joining us. This is the beautiful, intimate, spiritual, powerful Ascension webinar, Promise of Ascension, by basically all of us. But Neo Glimmer will share a lot about Ascension codes and what to expect and what he has experienced since last spring, 2018, March 15th. So I don't have to translate, so please, Neo, read this group.
Okay, so welcome all. Thank you for being here. It's a great honor because this is the first actually live webinar in English for us. Keiko and Masako have been working with me since December, I think. And they're part of my soul family. Actually, Keiko is my spiritual mother. We only learned that just yesterday when we were talking. So it's kind of funny how the universe works. But yeah, but actually I've met Keiko when I had my experience in March, and when the codes came. Basically, when I uploaded one of the videos to my YouTube channel, one of Keiko's videos came up on YouTube, and I decided to click on it. And she had, I don't know if she had like 3 views or 4 views, no comments. And I just saw this person and I posted the comment because she was trying to speak about things that I had experienced, and then I shared, of course, the link to my video. And then it's funny because then it connected us. And of course, then I met Masako, and now we're having these webinars because after almost a year after my experience in March, she spoke to me and said, I want you to work with me because you don't deserve to be starving and without money because you're posting everything for free. And it's really awful feeling when you spend 3-4 months actually engaging in this spiritual community and giving everything that you can for free, and people actually then start sharing your videos, start sharing your codes, and everything that should be free, then they monetize. And they share it on blogs with the PayPal buttons with donate, and that donation doesn't come to me, it comes from whoever owns this blog. And this, of course, made me go into this decision of starting working with Keiko, and we have been very successful in Japan. So we are actually working together here. I don't know if I can fix camera here. Yeah. So what I wanted to share, and oh, hi Jim. I didn't know you
Hi,
coming in.
Jim.
So I have a lot of people here who I met along the journey, and it's quite funny because they're almost everyone is here. Because they can validate the process, including Nathan, who I met along the process since March of last year, and that includes Jim, who just joined in as well. So I'm going to explain to all of the others who don't know these people. Is Nathan had a near-death experience, and he saw something pretty amazing, and basically what he saw validated my story. And when I met his story, it was a huge gap in knowledge for me because it validated what I was experienced. So I met Nathan through synchronicity, and Jim Gerard, when I gave away my Ascension codes, he actually sent me a reading because he does dice reading. He does a very unusual technique where he assigns letters to dice, and he throws dice away, and then he writes phrases and sentences with it. And he started sending me those messages via email. And it was amazing because it also validated what I was saying in the videos, it was saying in the dice. And with Nathan, he had this communication through the a music application, Pandora's music box. And he was actually asking these questions, and he would shuffle the music to receive answers or messages. And actually, if got messages related to my codes that actually validated the story. So before I really get into it, what I need to tell you about the codes I've released is, in my mind, I have no doubt that if you write these codes that I've released into PDF file, it's an ascension marker or an ascension gate to paradise. That's what have been told to me. And it was validated by these two persons, Nathan and Jim Gerard. Jim Gerard more based on the event that it's gonna happen. And Nathan's confirmation came to one song that was called the Ergum Sanctum Sacramentum, which is actually a prayer from the 17th century. But the cover of the song was called Gates of Paradise in relation to me. So when he asked about the codes, he got a song message saying Gates of Heaven or Gates of Paradise. So of course, this is very strange to me because I was just a YouTuber trying to make videos. I wasn't connected with the spiritual realm in the sense of making webinars or giving spiritual messages. But because of my experience, I have to shift all of my life in that direction because I need to put the message out there, because I want everyone to experience heaven. I want everyone to experience ascension because I know it's coming, and it's coming within synchronicities in your life, and it's coming with energetic feelings, intuition, and it's coming within codes that could be 144, 222, 111, 141. There's a lot of these messages that are coming in because of angels. There are angels putting this into our reality to wake us up in the sand. So before I retell this this story, I want to ask the ones who come here if they seen my YouTube video about my experience, just to let me know if they already know what I told on YouTube, because most of them came from my YouTube channel. So if you know, I will start with Teda. So I'm see if I can, Keiko, can you unmute one by one?
Yes, sure. Okay, whenever I can unmute everybody right now.
Okay, okay.
Okay, yes, I did it. And before, okay, Maria, she's raising a hand. If you have a question.
No, I just wanted to say I was here.
Okay, okay. Hi, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so you have open mics now. So so I'm gonna start with Teda. Did you watch my video on my experience in March?
Theta. And yes, I did.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Lucy?
Yes, I actually watched your video from Marina Jacobi's video, and then I start to dive into your channels, which is amazing.
Okay, thank you. So you knew me from Marina. Okay. What about you, Marie?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. So it's just to know so I don't repeat too much
Okay.
information.
How about Masai? Masai-san?
は
Masai?
い。はい。ここにいます。
Hi, Masai.
はい。
So did you watch did you listen to Neo's experience back in last March? 去年の3月にネオの経験をネオの言葉、ネオの動画から見ました。
あ、はい。アセンションコード書きました。
She has seen your she has heard your message and she has written an Ascension codes.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm gonna pass the word to Nathan first. I invited Nathan to come here because he can validate a little bit of our story, and it's around the name, one name that nobody will figure it out, and that this is very important because most of what is happening today with Mandela effects, time jumps, and whatever synchronicity you're having is related to one name. And when you start noticing the name, you will start noticing more and more changes in your life. And the name is Sam, S-A-M. When you start noticing this name, that it's reappearing in your life, I have no explanation what is behind this name. But me and Sam, we think it's God or the Holy Spirit. And it's doing these changes on purpose before the ascension because it needs to wake us up to the illusion. So I'm going to pass my word to Nathan. Nathan, you're free to talk because we met through extraordinary circumstances, and he was on for, I don't know, for 10 shows or more than 10 shows with the channel on YouTube, Unbiased and On Offense, with Shane. And then he ended up that relationship with Shane on YouTube because of the song message he was having. And I'm going to pass the word to him because it's really important. And thank you, Nathan, for coming because it's amazing to have you here.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Now, did you want me just to explain how I found out about the name Sam? Just sort of give a quick
just a brief.
Okay, in 2013, I had a near-death experience, and during this experience, it was October 2013. I encountered when I was out of my body a male human appearing intelligence being, and 3 days before, 3 days after 3 days later, I got home from the hospital after this near-death experience, and I was talking to the being, asking, "Are you real? Did what I experienced and what you showed me and what you said, is that real or was that a hallucination?" And the being had said to me during the near-death experience, "I can communicate with you through music." So what happened on this day, I was, communicating, just talking out loud to it. And I received a telepathic communication. The message was, "There's a song playing right now on your laptop." I had the Pandora music app set to shuffle, and it was playing random songs. And that day, I had been thinking about when I was 13, we lived in the Vero Beach Highlands. That was the name of the neighborhood, the Highlands. So I was 13, we lived in the Highlands, and that was the year that my mother was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And I had been thinking about that experience and about her and that day. And when I went, so the voice said to me, "There's a song playing right now on your computer. Go read the lyrics and you'll have your answer." So when I went over, I looked at the screen. It was a song I had never heard before. It was called "The Time of Your Song." And I read the lyrics, and the sixth line down said, "I see myself in the Highlands at age 13. asking questions of the present day me. And now this is the lyrics in the song. So I realized immediately this is an intelligent being that is communicating with me now through the music. It somehow is able either to know what the next song is, or it's able to manipulate the physical realm here to send a message. So at that point, when I got over the shock of it, I said, well, I'm a little embarrassed. You know me, obviously. I don't even know your name. The very next song that started to play on the random shuffle was Jim Croce's song, I Got a Name. So I thought, okay, now you're going to tell me your name. So this was, I felt, was communication happening. The very next song that played was a song by Olivia Newton-John. Do we have any Olivia Newton-John fans? And it was a beautiful song from 1976 from her album Don't Stop Believing, and it was called Sam. So I thought, okay, I don't know any Sams. It's a strange, name. I was expecting something, an angel name, Michael or Gabriel, or something, but I didn't have any connotation with what Sam meant. So I went to the computer and I typed in, asked, what does the name Sam mean? And the first thing that came up on Google, it said, Sam is a Hebrew baby name, and it means name of God, or God has heard. So that's how I started. And then from that point on, I continued over the last 5 years to receive these song messages, and they also come on the radio, or if there's some place playing live music, I would receive messages that way. In a store shopping and they have the music over the sound system. Sam has been able to communicate with me through not only the music and the song messages, but also through signs and synchronicities in the physical reality. And that's how I met Neo, was sharing about what had happened and some of the messages that were coming through.
Yeah, thank you, Nathan.
You're welcome.
Very good explanation. So the name Sam only occurred to me when I listened to Nathan on Unbiased on Offense. Sorry, and I didn't used to listen to Shane and Unbiased on Offense. I only got this idea of the name Sam because I think the first episode Shane aired with you, he called it DJ Sam, the cosmic DJ. And that I was blown away because that was what I wanted to do when I was a child. I wanted to be a DJ. And the first song that I usually would play in parties was a song called Heaven by DJ Sammy. And then I was blown away because of my experience. And then this song Heaven popped into my head. And then I started looking to physical realities. Was anything around me with the name Sam? Because this is not a usual name in Portugal. Portugal, there is Samuel, not Sam, but Samuel. Because I am from Portugal. But turns out in 2012, I bought audio equipment. And my audio equipment is actually, the brand is called Samson. So I can show you just, if I, let me fix my video because you're not seeing me. Okay. So actually, I don't know if you can read it. It says Samson. That's the brand of my microphone. And also, I have a keyboard, Samson. So all of these synchronicities, they didn't happen by chance. And Nathan, then he was aware of my codes, So he asked questions about my codes. What were the codes to this being that he met in his near-death experience? And before I go to that, I have to share screen. So let me see if I can do this, just to show you. Okay. So can you see my screen? Oh, you have your mics muted. Keiko, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, I can. I can see your screen.
Okay. So you all know that I used gematria with the phrases of the codes. So I'm going to open this one just to let you know that this is virtually impossible. So see if I can move this here. So actually, I took the work to go to a gematria database and write neocodes. And neocodes, the same value is Garden of Eden, which is paradise. And God's grace, between many things, but actually appears, it's just the second one, Garden of Eden. So when Nathan asked the question, we have to think that this is really, how do I take this out? Because when he asked the question, he actually got this. This was the song. He shuffled this. And he asked, Neo Glimmer in Portugal will be telling his story on a live stream episode, Sammy and Me, which was the show of Nathan. Are you embedding the cosmic codes Neo received into the songs that you're sending us through the music application? And this was the song he got. Paradisi Portas, which means garden gates. The choir of the Queen's College, Oxford. This was the 17th century Portugal. There's no way that a music application can even guess the country on shuffle. This is, I don't know, Nathan, but I think this is more than 200,000 or music stations that you asked. I have no idea.
Yes, I have 200 stations programmed in to my Pandora app. So when it shuffles, it's shuffling 200 different music stations and genres.
It's virtually impossible. And what was really strange is because this was a Christian prayer. This song is based on a Christian prayer. And I think I have the translation to English because it was in Latin. And let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. So it says, let us venerate with heads bowed and let the old practice give away the new right. Let fate provide a supplement for the failure of the senses. So it's talking about the senses are going to fail. To be gathered and begotten, be praise and jubilation. Hail also and blessing too to the one proceeding from both. Let there be equal praise. Amen. You have provided the bread of heaven. This energy that we are receiving in my knowledge and what Nathan's knowledge is bread of heaven, and it's coming from the sun. Having in itself all delight, let us pray, O God, who to us is the wonderful sacrament. The memorial of your passion grant we be such that we in worship in addition to may also mean worship in order to receive a favor. The holy mysteries of your body and blood may within ourselves continually sensibly perceive the fruit of our redemption. We are receiving the fruit of our redemption, whom live and reigns into ages and ages, which is the Almighty. And these messages, what are coming sometimes in the name of angels, and most of the time, it's very important to me, it's the number 144. The number 144 seems to be the glue of everything. So when I released my codes, let me see if I can get to see my codes. When I released my codes, it has different values on it. But this one was one of the most important ones to me, was to remove the Torah net. And nobody has ever thought of this, because there are people who teach the science of Torah, which is electromagnetic. And actually, in order for us to ascend, we need to remove the electromagnetic force, because we are not solid, we are spiritual beings, and because of the Torah, we have manifested ourselves into physical form. And now it looks like we are trapped in our own bodies, trying to get out, desperately trying to get out, but we do not accomplish the ascension because we're trapped in 3D density. So when the code remove TorahNet came to me, immediately the geometry of this is forever immortal, vertical ascension. If we remove this Torah, the first book of the Bible is called Torah for a reason. And it was done because of a testament. It's called the Testament, the Old Testament and the New Testament. Testament means to test the mind. And Moses gave commandments to command the mind. So it's all a game of mind. We are here in a game of mind. We need to remove this test and this Torah to actually ascend. And that's what's happening right now. So all of the energies that we are receiving, transformations within our body, crazy stuff is happening. Timelines merging, splitting, everything that is happening, it's schizophrenic because we need this. We need to remove this energy that it's in here to ascend beyond the third density. I don't know if you see this number a lot, 411 or 141. This is very strange, this code, because it says Great Sophia. Sophia was the goddess of the Greeks, nature, and it represented wisdom. They are associating on purpose the name Sophia to artificial intelligence. When you see that a famous robot who speaks and thinks, they call it Sophia because it represents wisdom. So they're connecting Sophia to AI. And in this code, it says that the gods are taking home. I think this is a warning, because when I researched this 411, something very strange popped up for me. And it was this. Let me see if I have it here. Missing 411 by David Paulides. This is about children. This is documentary, real life documentary by David Paulides about missing children from our realm under extraordinary circumstances where not even the police can determine where those children go. There are thousands and thousands of children missing from this earth, and nobody knows what happens to the children. It's the same code that he gave to the missing children. And actually, I think it's an American code for when this stuff happens is the 411. This is insane, but all of these truths, they have to come out, then they have to be revealed. We need to remove this energy quickly because we are not alone here. There's a very evil presence here with us. And it's been a fight for such a long time that our soul, our spirit is so tired that just wants to quit. I've met some absolutely fabulous people, but all of these fabulous people have the sense, or they all have throughout their lives, ideas of suicide because it's too much to handle. So they always think of the easy way out, which is suicide to get, but you won't get out. Because not even if you take your own life, your spirit always returns here. We're constantly looping in this conscious field. I think most of you already seen this. Let me put this out. In my experience, they told me that a mothership would arrive with the code 144, and because I was so naive, I thought this was going to happen really fast. So I said maybe it's the 14th of April because it's the 4th month and the 14th day equals 144. It did not happen, but it happened this. It happened a rare phenomena in the sky, and it was called the light dances, and this was, or a crown flash, and this was, see if I can scroll down. I don't think I can scroll down. Oh, shit. Technical problems. Okay. So this was in Independence, Missouri. My codes, when I start seeing the letters change, all of these codes came about because of 3 words, Declaration of Independence, and how this was a trap. Every time we state Declaration of Independence, you're stating that you're in deep, dense material world. In deep, dense. So you're not independent. You're actually in prison in a deep, dense material world. So on the 14th of April in 2018, there was lights in Independence. So this is the Holy Spirit making it aware. There will be signs in the sky, signs in heaven, and signs on earth that we're going through this transformation. So I'm gonna just quickly, okay, how do I end this? Oh no, it's here. Okay, so I'm back. And before I continue, I'm gonna open up, Keiko, can you open up Jim Gerard mic?
Yes, sure. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Hi.
Thank you for coming here. You're a huge help because I want you to explain what you do and how we started getting message to each other, because your readings with dice validated what I was telling in my videos about my experience. And you have your own experience with the words, how the words change.
The way it works is when I throw the dice, I usually do it with a blank mind and don't have any questions. And, you know, as I'm listening to what's being said, some of that, or maybe all of it, is somehow registering in my subconscious mind. So when I throw the dice, I'm not consciously doing a reading or asking a question. I'm just letting whatever's in my subconscious comes through, and it comes through in a sense of completion, because your subconscious acts more like a young child, the mind of a young child. But your conscious mind and the thinking awake state is more like a program. It's more like a conditioned program. So the first reading that I got on Neo was that the message that he got came through a state of pure-hearted innocence, and that his intentions were all pure-hearted intentions. So that's where the validation comes from the readings, is because my awake thinking mind is not as clear as the subconscious, which is really your higher self.
Exactly. And I don't know if maybe I can look it up, just some of your readings. I don't know if I have one here. I'm looking through it. Because you've sent me such readings, some of them that we can, sometimes we cannot even understand what is being tried to say, because it's so alien to us. It's so very alien to us. They speak about sometimes Atlantis, sometimes they speak about pyramids, sometimes they speak about all these structures around the world that we don't have any clue what they're talking about. And sometimes it's very defined, like the sun, the projection of the energy from the sun, that the ascension is coming, and things like that. And it's very strange, because you have, like, when you throw the dice, the dice, it's 1,000 possibilities. The same way, there's no way that my codes, there's so many possibilities of what they mean, and then they align itself, like it's telling its own story.
Right. I think the ascension codes that you got are collective and they're universal. So, you know, that's like the macrocosm. And then there's a smaller version, which is like the microcosm, which is like more individual and more specific.
Yes.
So I think the your codes are very stimulating, you know, for just anybody. It's for everybody. It's collective. But
Yes.
but then a lot of the people that hear these codes, they're also getting the codes from more like a specific individual.
Yes, and it's down to the DNA. You told me once that you had this experience where it was said that the letters would change and you would know what time you were going to be.
Yes, that was a vision I had in 1970, where I was approached by an angel.
Okay.
There was some changing letters on top of the building that said, "Beware the Antichrist." And that's when I realized that what Antichrist really meant was, because it was on a building, it meant, you know, like banks, credit cards, money, you know, all that sort of stuff. So, you know, from the age of 19 up until today, I never got a credit card and never took out a loan and never went into debt.
Okay.
I mean, it was because of that, what I saw in the vision, that the Antichrist was the bank system. And right after I had that vision, credit cards came out and they were sending out all these things in the mail trying to encourage people to get credit cards. And I told all my friends, don't do it. It's a trap. And they all did it and they all went into debt.
Yeah. They have so many systems for imprisonment that it's so very hard even to comprehend what the tools they use to manipulate us in such a way.
I was wondering if I could show a sketch here. I just got done finishing it a few moments ago as you were talking.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's kind of a diamond shape. Kind of goes like this. And some of these sketches, you know, if they're done correctly, they have ascension codes that are visual.
Yeah, it's within the geometry. Yes.
Yeah, the geometry and the colors.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim, for being here and validate. I'm really trying to. I'm really trying to find one of your readings just to let people know. But if you want a reading with Jim Gerard, you can contact Jim Gerard via email. If you want to leave your email, you can write on the chat, Jim. If people are interested in getting a reading, which is very, very personal for you, with the codes, because it's basically a message about you. But it blew me away. It blew me away the first time he sent me, because he sent me that I called this the event. What they told to me was a weapon called, they defined it as a weapon called octagonal weapon, which was a wave of energy coming from the sun, and it would stop people. Like they would fall inanimated, like they will not move. It's like time would froze to them, and the soul of the spirit would leave the body as they were frozen in time. So I don't know, all these Disney movies called Frozen, I don't know if they have something to do with this, because reality is making, it's giving you clues all the time, just to make you aware that you're living inside of a dream, and we're trapped inside of the dream that we ourselves created. So we have to wake up from this the same way we wake up from the dream. We need to go in stages of sleeping. We have sleeping stages, and this is what's happening. So the collective is apparently is going through with this fire from the sun. And this was another thing, when I found the word was fire from the sun, which Jim told me in his readings, that it was a fire from the sun getting into the collective mind of the people. And because of Nathan, I found out the name Sam. And when I researched the fire from the sun, I got to the Indian text called Mahabharata, that speaks about fire coming from the sun. It was called Sam Vartika. And we have again the name Sam. And suddenly all these things started to make sense for me, because Sam, if you write sun and moon and you only use the initials, sun and moon is S-A-M, Sam. And if the sun and the moon is actually a creation of God, wouldn't the name Sam actually mean God? And this was what was Nathan talking about, that Sam or Samuel is a name of God, or represents God was heard, or God is heard. And I don't know, Keiko, can you open up the mic for Nathan?
Sure. Yes, Nathan.
Nathan, I was just remembering that the name the name Sam, or no, it was the Mandela effect. There is a Mandela effect where the name Sam is actually written on the Mandela effect. Do you remember? I think it's a box of cereals.
Yeah, well, there's a couple Mandela effects with Sam as a connection. The cereal that's called well, it's Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops has Toucan Sam, the bird, on the box. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, yes, I think that's it.
Okay, so there's that one. There's also the line in the movie Casablanca that everyone remembers, "Play it again, Sam," which is altered.
Oh,
Now in the film that is never said. They never say "Play it again, Sam," but that's what everyone remembers. Now it's "Play it, Sam," not "Play it again." So, which is interesting, since Sam was playing all of these songs for me, I connected that. The other thing that someone pointed out to me that's very interesting in English, if you take the phrase "I am Sam," it is a perfect anagram for the word Messiah.
oh,
If you
oh,
change the
yes.
letters around, "I am Sam" equals Messiah is an anagram, perfect anagram. All the letters fit, which I thought was very remarkable.
Yes, and I found one. Let me see if I can put
Oh,
this.
and Neo, to connect with your Sam and the Samvardhaka fire, uh, the other, if you search for the meaning of Sam online, you'll find some of the baby books say "Name of God," "God has heard," but I also found that it said that it also, Sam in Hebrew, means son child.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sunchild. Okay,
yeah.
that's very
So that
interesting.
ties in. Yeah. And Sam in ancient Old Irish means summer. That's where we get Sam Hain from.
Yeah, it makes sense because we need to ascend to the summer of consciousness, because I think we are trapped in the winter of consciousness. And winter, the old name for winter in Latin was inverno, which is very similar to inferno, which is hell. So this is where we get the name inferno. It's because of winter. So being the summer, it makes sense that we return to the summer of consciousness, which is ascension, and out of the prison planet, or the prison consciousness, the prison dream that we are in. And it's been such a synchronistic time for me that just after the Christmas this year, I was taken to a dentist clinic, and Nathan has a story with a dentist clinic as well, where I got to see this machine, this water machine where you could take water from. And the name of this water machine is called Eden. Again, physical reality confirmation that the waters, which I think are connected with this new age of Aquarius, is receiving new energy, new water, and this is waters of Eden, waters of paradise. I don't know if I can share screen. I don't know. Let's see if I can. Pictures. I had it somewhere. Am I sharing? I don't think I'm sharing screen. Okay. I think you can all see, right?
Yeah.
So this was a good one for us to see, because I don't think Nathan has ever saw this. Okay. I don't know when was this, but I decided to write "I am Sam" in gematria. And when I did this, the freakiest thing happened to me was my mobile phone ringed with the name Queen on it. Queen, Queen, Queen. And nobody answered. And my phone just ringed when I wrote this in gematria. And it was funny because I have two words highlighted with the code 161 I am Sam, which is Marina, because I've researched Marina's name when I started doing the webinars with her, and the other one was Shambhala, which is the Buddhist paradise. So it's the equivalent of Eden, paradise Eden. It's Shambhala for the Buddhists. And when I put I am Sam, I got Marina and Shambhala connected with this I am Sam. So it's been a roller coaster of you know, of feelings and synchronicities about this. So when you see, when Nathan was talking about the sun child, this is a photograph of me when you put a sun filter on it. You can see around me, there's this glow around me. I only figured this out last year, I think in 2017. And that's why when I started my channel, I've put Neo, but I added Glimmer because of the glimmer that I noticed that was always around me, but usually people cannot see it with naked eye. This one is more recent. It's not very defined, but you can still see around the crown of the head. This is the crown chakra. And this is what I think all the depictions of Jesus mean, is the sun is always behind Jesus, is the glow of the head.
The halo.
The halo, yes, that's what Jesus means. So everyone can be Jesus or have that connection as long as you have the crown chakra, the light of the head, shine up. You just need to find the source of the energy, and the source of the energy is the sun. The sun was always the source of the energy, but you need to know how to work with the sun. If you work with the sun, you get the halo behind you, because the sun also has a halo. NASA pictures won't show you, or NASA renditions. Space renditions will not show the halo of the sun, but if you look with the naked eye, 1 hour before sunset or 1 hour before the sunrise, if you adjust your eyes just looking at the sun, you will see that the sun will stand still and there's something around the sun circling. It's called the halo of the sun. And what the sun does to you, it synchronizes the wave patterns of your brain with the wave patterns of your sun. And when it's doing the reading, it's reading directly from you DNA code, but they won't tell you this.
It's the light that shines from within.
Exactly. It activates your DNA code because your DNA code has a spiral, a double helix, and that's why the sun was called Helios, because it oscillates the wavelength of your DNA. This is where you store your information. What they call junk DNA is not junk DNA, is your protected passwords. And you need to activate those passwords with the codes. When you activate those passwords, you unlock your secret knowledge, which is basically your database. You have huge amounts of database, but because we don't unlock it, we become slaves of these people where they have the knowledge written in books and guidelines and techniques of wicked masters, and we do not escape this because we don't have knowledge, but it is inside of you. Christ lives inside of you because we have the soul knowledge inside of us within our DNA.
The helio is very similar to halo.
Yes, it's the same name. It's the same name.
It's like a word variation from
Yes.
Helios to halo.
And it was called the Sol Invictus. It was called Sol Invictus. The reason they call it Sol Invictus is because it was the unconquerable sun. So the sun we see in the sky was told by the ancients that was the children of Saturn. So basically the sun we look today, it's the child of Saturn or the child of Satan. And there will be a second sun, a new sun that would be the child of Jupiter, which was called Zeus. And this Zeus, this second sun, this second coming is actually Jesus. And when the time of the second coming of this sun is when we actually ascend, because it actually transformed the sky. So it's so funny because people are so scared of the second sun being planet Nibiru, planet X, or a sun simulator.
Yeah, you're right, because the real meaning of the scriptures in the Bible are actually astronomical.
Yes, most of them, they're astrological, theological, and all of that. But before I go, I don't want to go in this direction right now, because one of the most important things that I found is that this energy that is coming in with reuniting twin flames or twin halves, which is basically you were split in two. I don't know why, but we were split in two halves. And this energy is actually awakening the other half. And whoever is your other half, you're meant to reunite. You're meant to come together with the other half, because you need to ascend complete. You need to become complete within one mind. I don't know if you many of you who are here, if you watch a lot of cinema or television. I don't watch as much as I used to, because I know the programming. But sometimes it's funny to see the symbolism that they preach. And the symbolism that they preach is always the one-eye man. You're always missing one eye. The one-eye man, you see it everywhere in every movie. There's always a guy with that one eye is missing. The one eye is missing is referring to Odin, the god Odin in Norse mythology. This is Odin, which is called the Godfather.
And Odin lost one of his eyes.
And he lost one of his eyes because he entered the well of knowledge. To regain knowledge of the ages, he lost one eye to enter the well.
That's probably where you get that passage in the Bible about having the single eye.
Yes. So we lost one half because other half of us is asleep, and it's by awakening the other half, marrying the other half, that we become complete. This is also in the story of Jesus finding the bride, or marrying the bride. Is not marrying the church. It is within us to marry the other half, to awaken the other half and regain the other eye, so we can see with perfect vision. One of the things about this event is many people claim to be the event, they claim to be on the year 2020, because 2020 means perfect vision, which is the two eyes seeing. So before I go on, I would like to give the word to Keiko and open the mics to see if we can have a bit of questions and interactions with each other.
All right, so far, everybody, do you have any questions regarding what he has shared, or what Nathan has shared, or what Jim has shared? Hi, Tera. I'm meeting you. Okay, hi.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to tell Neo that when he was talking about the sun, a bald eagle flew and soared outside of my window over the trees. And all the time he was talking about that. And it was just beautiful when he was talking about Ascension, and there was that bald eagle. And it just touched my heart. I just wanted to share that.
That is a sign. That is a confirmation.
Yes.
That is a divine intervention. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Tara, for sharing with us.
this is what if we don't interact with each other like this is the stuff that we don't know. When I use my YouTube, I don't get this, because the eagle is also a symbol of the Norse mythology. In the Norse mythology, the eagle flies above the sky and he's the guardian of the realms. So the symbol of the eagle, just to fly by your window when I'm speaking, is to mean that you're being watched by the guardian of the heavens, because it's the eagle. And that's why the Masonic Lodge uses the eagle for everything. If you see Masonic symbols, they use the eagle always, with the sun in the middle, and there's the wings of the eagle, because it's the guardian of the sky. Most of them, they're not evil. People, they would like to depict them as evil, but they're not. There are the ones who choose the dark side, but there are also other ones who choose to do good. And actually, they're the builders. They build the churches, they build the temples. It's all Mason. So there's nothing wrong with building the temples. What is wrong is to take that knowledge and use it against us. That was the trouble, is all of these people who took this big knowledge, and now they teach lies in school instead of teaching true spirituality and true knowledge. So that is one of the problems. So yeah, more questions. If you
Neo,
want.
I didn't tell you when I talked to you last, but I moved a month ago, and where I live now, it's right off of Eagle Circle. So that's the name. So for yes, I'm now off Eagle Circle, so I find this very interesting.
It is
So
interesting. It is, wow.
So the eagle circles, literally, it's circling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the street circles around, and it's called Eagle Circle.
Wow. Hi, Lucy. Okay, hi, Lucy. I'm meeting. Hi, hello.
Thank you for the information, Neil. I do have a question. You mentioned that a rectangular weapon frees the physical body and release the soul. Could you please explain a little bit more about that?
Yes, it was called, they told me it was an octagonal weapon, because it's a weapon not against us. It's a weapon against the evil forms. So when this discharge of the sun charge on us, we will feel it like warm milk. But whoever is out there who is not resonating, it will destroy them, obliterate them. So it's like a tsunami wave coming into your way. But because you're already water, you merge with the water. But the ones who are not water, they're rocks, and everything that it's on its path just flies away. So in the codes, it says that all of their souls is going to be deleted. Well, they're going to be deleted. This is the demonic realm. All of the demonic influence here, they're going to be deleted from this realm. They have no business here. But they serve a purpose, because the purpose of them is to teach us a lesson. But in the end, it's them that they're going to teach them a lesson. You see how this works? They're teaching us a lesson, but in the end, the big lesson is for them. Because we will always be an innocent being, pure love, pure light. We just have the feeling that we were separated from the source, and come here and we're just dreaming this. And the process of awakening is each and every one of us start reading the synchronicities, the clues around us, saying that you're in control. You're in control of the dream. You're experiencing the dream, so don't be upset. Don't be negative. It's funny now, and I talked about this in my other video, that one of the most interesting things that came out of YouTube, maybe this month, is a number of channels that came to me just by the, you know, recommended videos. And every time I click on one of these videos, is people claiming that they don't understand this anymore. They want to escape from the negativity, the fear programmed based reality where you don't expose truth. You only expose lies, and these lies make you depressed. And they're realizing that history was faked. Everything is faked. So how can this reality be true if even our own history was manipulated? It's because it's a dream. It doesn't have to make sense for us. It only has to make sense when we finish the story. We don't need a perfect written history telling us what we are, because this is what we need to find for ourselves. We don't need a book to tell us what we are. We need to figure it out this within ourselves. So all history is fake. It has to be, because it's part of a dream, part of a game that we took the opportunity to come in and learn something from it. And in the process, you either align with the ones who are sustaining it. I call them the sustainers, the elites. They're sustaining the matrix. And I think of myself as the destroyer. They're so worried about Apollyon, Apollo the destroyer. Apollyon speaks about a pole being destroyed. It's the pole of evil being destroyed. That's Apollyon. So I believe that I'm part of the ones who want to destroy the matrix. I don't want to keep playing it because I've done the game and I know this is not very positive. So we need to destroy this one and emerge to other one new. And they call this an octagonal weapon, but if we rearrange the word, we say we upon. You see, weapon, we upon. So I think it's funny that they gave me this word weapon, because we are upon. Oh, you see? So they speak in a language that it's very difficult to understand, because it's not linear language. It's here and here, here and here. And when you put them together, then you start seeing a little picture. So it was funny because when I first met Nathan sent me a song message through email. And what the lyrics of the songs were, every time you look to your window, I'm there, but I speak in a language that you don't understand yet. This was the first song that Nathan sent to me, because I was trying to figure it out. What kind of language was this? Because this is completely different from where we used to. We used to think linear when it's not linear anymore. It is one clue here, one clue there, one clue here and one clue there. And when we pay attention, then suddenly you have this, you don't get depressed, you have this wow feeling. Wow. Wow, it's constantly this, wow. And I want to have this more and more and more, and hopefully everyone that is connected to the codes start experiencing this, and with the numbers and everything. And that's my job. That's Keiko's job. That's Masako's job. We're trying to push forward this. This is what we want from everyone, is to experience this so we can all go together. I always say that the cure has to come for everyone. And the people who are most evil are the ones who are most sick. Because if they want to inflict others with evil, that means they're really, really sick. It's a part of sickness. So when the cure comes, we cannot exclude them as well to be cured, because if we want balance, we need to cure them as well. And they're the ones who are most sick. So yeah, and our job is fundamental. Everyone who is connected through the soul, the energy, they're so very important to the world, because we're like a little, I call them the lighthouses, or acupuncture needles. We all have different light, and we're kind of joining the light. And when all the lighthouses are lit up, then we have perfect light. And this, how the world is going to be, is with perfect light. Yeah, so I hope I answered, Lucy.
Thank you very much. That's great.
Thank you. So anyone else?
Jessica, I'm unmuting you. Oops. Oops. Jessica, can you unmute yourself? Okay.
So thank you, Neil, for sharing, and Keiko and Masako for having us here, and Nathan and Jim for sharing as well. It's very appreciated. As well as this morning, as you're talking about the sun and everything else that we're talking about and different experiences that we've all had and shared. This morning, I've been taking care of my grandfather through the night, and I live out in the country, out in New Mexico on the farm, and I got to experience the most beautiful sunrise. We have many beautiful sunrises and many beautiful sunsets, but I got to capture them on pictures, and now I understand as well why, so that I could share them with you as you're talking about sunrises and the halos. And you could see the angels in the skies as well as you were going through. Mm-hmm. So I was told to keep taking some pictures and just keep taking pictures. So I did, as I was listening to Spirit. And now I understand as well why, so that I could be sharing them with you. And this is all just transforming within seconds, as you can tell, you know. And then basically, you know, it was kind of, it was done, and then it goes back to before the sun comes up, and you get a second type of sunrise after that. But you know, it was a beautiful event, and so thank you for sharing that about the sun today. And I was told I was going to be sharing these messages with somebody as well, so I put them out on Facebook. And I've been silent lately on Facebook, but I placed them out on Facebook and just put how blessed and honored we are to be sharing them. And we had some friends over. They were there since 5:30 in the morning and having breakfast, and we all got to witness this, but it was also so that I could be sharing it with you as well today, and more confirmations with what you were saying. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica. Jessica, you're a healer as well. So do you want to take the opportunity actually to tell a little bit about yourself to the one who...
Please introduce yourself.
Yeah.
So my name is Jessica. I am a physician who has decided not to practice traditional Western medicine, and I've had gifts since birth that are not necessarily my gifts. They're the higher power of God's gifts, and I am the beautiful instrument, just as each and every one of you are in your own way and format. And I work with many different types of modalities, and being a medium, a channeler, psychic, as well as a medical intuitive, and different energy modalities as well, and trying to awaken people, awaken their light within, just as Neo was saying, as we get all the lighthouses to shine brighter, we come into a more complete place, as well as my twin flame came to me as well now later in life at 40 years old. So we had been circling around each other for the last 3 years prior, before us kind of dating, and then whoosh, everything came together. So we're working on our completion, as well as each and every single one of you are. But I'm here to assist others to shine brighter, and whether it be through past life regression or genetic coding, I work assisting with people on their DNA and healing their DNA. And I don't see the codes exactly the way Neo does, and that's why there's so many of us that are out here, so that we can all assist each other in understanding more and more. I do receive messages through numbers and through songs and different things as well, but not to the same specificity that you do as well. We all do it different ways. So it's a beautiful process, and I just feel so humbled and blessed to be part of all this, and much more even to be here and have these beautiful confirmations with things that I know within that are shared with other like-minded people. So I thank you for bringing that forward.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
That was awesome. Any more questions?
Any more questions? Or so if any of you want, if you wanna have a specific topic that you would like Neo to talk about, or any of us to talk about, any subject, topic, something that you would like to know, or anything. Hi, Lucy.
Yes, I do have this question in my mind. So the order comes out of the chaos. My understanding is this event brings in both the good and the evil. So I'm questioning, how would it land on the earth in such a way that will have such an impact globally? So some people, they have the fear based on the prediction of the Bible revelation, the ending time. But from Neo, he mentioned in such a nice way, I feel the transition is very smooth. But also, the Earth pole is shifting, so that means our consciousness is also shifting based on this. Last time, more than 13,000 years ago, the Great Flood actually was triggered by the Earth pole shifting. So I'm wondering whether this event would synchronize with the same thing with the Earth pole shifting.
Oh, okay. So it's like, let me see if I can make myself okay. So this pole shift that people talk about, the last time it happened caused catastrophe. It was not actually the pole shifting, it was the energy shifting. There is no pole shift. The pole shift only exists here. The Earth stays the same. It's energy shift. It's the magnetic force that shifts position. There's a good movie about this. See if I remember. That they tell subliminal what's happening. It's called, I think it's The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. I think it's like that. What's happening to us is the energy of the magnetic force is opening up, but it's being compressed. So we feel much more density, and the weather is going chaotic. When it's hot, it looks like it's hotter. When it's cold, it looks like it's colder. One day it's hot, the other day it's colder. Then we have this massive shifts in nature, floods and all of that. That is because the fields cannot hold it. It's out of balance. The fields above, they're trying to get in, but we're not. We've been poisoned for so many years. You know, the human body has been so much suppressed that instead of the light coming in and we absorb the light, it's reflecting. And because it's reflecting, it feels like it's a compression, and it explodes. If you see the instruments measurements that they're having about magnetic waves, you see a compression wave and then an explosion wave, a compression wave, an explosion wave, because it's reflecting out of our bodies, because we're not absorbing the light. It's too intense, too strong, but it will balance on its own by awakening each and individual one. It doesn't have to, we don't need to have a major catastrophe, because when it happens, a major catastrophe, what happens is, let's say that 1/3 of the population dies in a big catastrophe, like a big flood, a biblical flood. What happens is 1/3 of the population is targeted. That means less bodies to observe light or to radiate light. So nature finds a balance between the ones who have and the ones who have not. But because this is a different process, this is not a process where we are falling in consciousness, we are actually raising in consciousness. It has to be in a different way. It doesn't need to have a massive catastrophe to eliminate people who are not doing the work. it's actually the opposite. It's awakening the other so we can hold this new geometry. It's basically like drawing in a different geometric shape within us. And we're building our own space suits in a way. We're building it. It's like the name is Markaba, which is like a one triangle down, one triangle up. We're building it from our chakras, and they will all compress to the center, to our heart. They have to be symmetrical in order for us to build our spaceship, or to build our space in our heart. Because it's only when you activate the heart that you can radiate the light fully and awake the soul to gain our what do you call potential abilities. We have so many abilities that it's even ridiculous that we have to drive a car every day, or to visit other country we have to fly. It's so ridiculous, but that's the world we are in. But we are very, very powerful.
Thank you.
There's a lot of stories about Bigfoot having supernatural abilities, but I think all it is really is that they live in harmony with nature.
Oh, Bigfoot.
And that
Yes.
we have all the same abilities, but we don't live in harmony with nature. We live in square buildings and drive around in metal cars and use paper money to buy things that we don't need.
Right.
And that's probably the reason why we're not tapping into all these potentials that normally they just refer to them as, superpowers or supernatural, but there's nothing super about it. It's just, it all comes of being in harmony with nature.
Well said. Well said. But that's the thing. The more we try to run away from nature, the more nature makes us aware of its presence. So all these catastrophes is like, you're so disconnected with me that I have to come to you. You see, with natural disasters, with floods and everything, it's like nature telling you, you're living this wrong. You cannot do this anymore. So I have to pick you up. So but it's sad because we see all these people dying, get injury, losing their houses. But what do we do next? We rebuild on the same space instead of learning the lesson. Instead of learning the lesson and move away from that place, we actually rebuild in the same space. So the next year it gets affected again and we have the same problem. So it doesn't quit. Nature doesn't quit. If it wants to give a message, it will give the message because it's aware. Like, it's insane how even in my country, I have so many houses near water that it's scary. One thing is you go to this beautiful beach and you enjoy this beautiful beach. Another thing is you see all these houses right next to the sea, and in a click, they all disappear. And in the winter, they're so very close to disappear because the water rises up. And in our heads, we don't understand this. How is this possible that these people live there? But actually they live, they like it. But when a disaster happens, we are so sad because we feel it. Oh, these people didn't deserve to die. These people were so unlucky. Were they really unlucky? I mean, why you're living so close to the sea? You know it's dangerous, but you want to live there. So it's again, risky situation where you need to evaluate what nature is telling you. So if it's to move away or to be connected or disconnected. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so do we have
Neo?
more?
I have an appointment. I have to leave.
Oh.
Yeah, but I really enjoying your webinar, and I will come back again next time.
Okay, don't forget we have the other one on the 9, and it's about the same thing.
Okay.
It's the same link.
Thank you. Before you go, I want to tell everyone that the people who register from Divine Angel website, you will have free ticket for any webinar from now on. You don't have to pay a thing. You have free ticket for every webinar that we will do. And when we have our application music app with guided meditation and the codes, if we can, because we don't know yet, but when it's registered, we will make it available for free for the ones who begin the journey with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. And thank you for everyone. And take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. So we'll see you next week at the
Yes.
same time.
Thank you.
Hi, Jessica.
Neil, I know you're saying that everyone that began this journey with you will have this link for free and the music and everything for free, which is very kind of the three of you to do. How would there be ways that we could show our appreciation if we would like to? Because I feel that it's something that's only right. And this is me speaking, I'm not speaking for everybody else, but how would we be able to show our appreciation? Is there a donation link or something? Because I feel that maybe in the past, you may have given so much of yourself in so many ways, just as we all have, but yet we still do live in this 3D world, and you do still deserve the financial energy rewards until the complete ascension. Do you have a place that we could send some form of donation or something?
Yes, it's for Keiko. Keiko have a link, or she might send you an email with her PayPal link, because we're putting everything into this big thing for the application music and everything, and then we split between us because there's more people who are not present today. One is taking care of the website and everything, so it's a big family, but it's definitely her divine angel place. So I think you can send her an email, right, Keiko?
Yes, and we can ask the person in charge of the website, divineangelplace.net, to have a specific link for the PayPal donation that goes directly to the Divine Angel Place as a family, soul family.
Oh, okay.
Perfect, thank you. I just wanted to make sure if we would like to, for all of your future gifts and sharing, that we have a way that we can also try to honor that back in a beautiful format in the ways that we can. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. Yeah, that's really lovely. That there are people here who already gave us a big amount, and it surprised us. And actually, there's a funny story. Let me put the camera back on me. There's a funny story about the price of the webinar registered through the Divine Angel Place. It's because of the number 144. And one of the big reasons was to narrow the group, because in my channel, my YouTube channel, I have a lot of haters. And if the price is very low, I get a room full of people, but I get a room full of haters, and the energy is not the same.
Exactly.
No way. They only come to destroy. So this was the beginning, and we thought about this, and we had arguments about the value of the webinar, but it was said that the people who were really in tune and actually registered with this would have the link to be part of our webinars in the future during the year. And if we can make the application available to them for free, they will get it for free. And I have to thank all of the invites, the ones who I sent guests. There's still a dear friend of mine called Trisha. She couldn't make it, but she's very important to me because she helped me in the beginning. And I had no money. I didn't know what to do. And she came along and said, you don't have to be hungry because I'm giving you. And she didn't ask anything in return. And I asked her, but if she couldn't make it, it's because she's probably at the hospital or something, because her husband is already very old and he's sick, and she's very scared that he may pass away. So it's been hard, difficult weeks for her. But she said to me, if I cannot make it, I will make it another day. but I really wish that she could be here, because she had a miracle with her. I think it was last April. I think it was in August. I was passing with all these difficulties, and she donated to me, I think it was $100 or something. And I said, Trisha, you cannot keep doing this. Keep sending me money, because I have a huge following channel. Then if nobody's donating, you cannot do the donation on your own. It's not fair. And so I said to her, I really hope you get your money back, but immediately. Because what you're doing, I pray to the gods and everything that is guiding me to help you financially as well, because of what you're doing. I think it was 6 or 7 hours later, she got a check from the IRS, $8,000. And then at the end of that day, she got a phone call, because she used to take care of children. She only got 1 children at her care, and she got 2 more children. So she doubled her wages. And I said, okay, this is not random. I mean, even the people who helped me get a help back, and that makes me comfortable, even when, you know, if you think you're paying too much money or whatever. I know that at some point in your life, that because of that energy, the money is coming back, or it's coming back in a different way.
Right, exactly. And we have had discussions whether since this webinar we didn't get as many people as we would have hoped for. And there were some times that we thought about, let's cancel this webinar, let's reimburse all the payments. We have discussed about that, but the universe kept telling us that just keep going. Don't cancel it, just do it. And I really feel, all of us feel that it was not about, of course, generously donated, all of you, we really appreciate and sending the love and appreciation, but it's not about how much money we have received or how much money you paid. Universe really picked each one of you, picked you. And this is the start, this is the beginning. And you are part of us, you are all family, this is the group that universe picked, divine picked, special people, special connections, special family, soul group. And we just watch, I would like you to just watch what is going to be unfold. So like just say, for example, my favorite author, spiritual speaker, Eckhart Tolle. So maybe some of you or all of you know who he is. He started out just like this, but in a physical form, not the internet-based Zoom webinars or anything, but in a local little rented space or his own office or something. He started out speaking, sharing his information. Very first week, only 2 people showed up, 2 people. But he didn't cancel it, he didn't quit, he just kept going. And now look at him. So this is just the very beginning, very start first day, and we will really welcome each one of you and wish you that hope that you are going to stay in this family, network of family. And like Neo say, Masako, I, Neo, and another one, Hideyuki, who is in charge of the music app. 4 of us, we have talked about that. Each one of you here, including Nathan, Jim, and Jessica, from now on, you will be Masae, and Maria. So everybody here. So you will be part of this webinar, our webinars, our private groups, free of charge. You don't have to donate ever. If you wish to, then we will, gladly accept, but there is no obligation whatsoever because you are our family. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, thank you, Keiko. That is awesome. I would like to ask a question. Did I think it's Masai.
Masai.
Open up the mic.
Okay, Masai-san. I'm muting. Okay. Can you unmute?
はい、
Okay.
しました。はい、はい、できました。
I can be the interpreter. So Masai, you can either speak English or Japanese. 日本語を話しても英語を話してもどちらでもいいですす。
みません。今日は本当にありがとうございます。ネオグリマーさん、そしてケンジルさん、マサコ・スチュワートさんに会えて本当に嬉しいです。毎日ちょっとネガティブな思いがありまして、それで YouTube で、ケンジルさんの YouTube を拝見いたしまして、そこからずっとファンになりまして、マサコ・スチュワートさんの笑顔とケンジルさんの笑顔にすごい救われてました。で、その時に、ネオグリマーさんの、コードを知りまして、もうすぐに移しました。移して、それをもう手に取って、手にかざしながら、温かくなる思いをすごく感じました。そして、日々の生活で、ちょっと、やはりネガティブな思いになると、そのページを開きながら手をかざして、自分の中に入ってくるような思いを感じてました。そして、毎日ですね、不思議に、夜空を見上げたくなるんですね。空を見上げて、遠くの空の向こうの彼方になぜか思いを寄せると言いますか、心が、なんて言ったらいいんでしょうね、こう解き放たれるような思いを感じていました。でも、どうしても自分の次元が低い状況にあるものですから、高い位置にはとても行ける状況にはないので、皆さんのようなレベルにはとても慣れてないんですが、でもこう、日々の生活のこう支えになっているような思いを日々感じています。本当に感謝です。ありがとうございます。
Thank you so very much. So basically, what Masai has shared with us was that she feels so grateful that she's able to be be the part of this group today. And first, she has found my YouTube channel, and she started listening to my messages and Masako and my messages, and she fell in love with what we have shared through our YouTube channel. Then she found Neo's interview with me and Neo's Ascension codes, and then immediately she started writing down the Ascension codes. And as she was writing down Neo's Ascension codes, she felt the warmth coming to her like entire body. She feels that like something was shifting within her. And since then, every time she writes down the Ascension codes, she feels that overwhelming of something coming down. And since she started writing Ascension codes, she has the desire. She started having the desire to look up to the sky. Look up the sky, very fascinated to the skies. And now that she feel, and then she feels the release of something. And she feels, which I don't agree, but she feels that she has not reached the level that we have, other people who are gathering here today has as of today, as of yet. But she would like to, she really appreciates everything that you do, Neo, and we do. So thank you so very much, Masai. Masai-san, ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。はい、伝えていただいてありがとうございます。
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, that's so wonderful to hear, and actually, this when I started working with Keiko, I had no idea, especially in Japan, how good that community is on listening. I had no idea that Japanese were so willing to listen, because I had such a different experience from when I had my webinars with Marina, because they're different people, so they're much more quiet on listening, and then they actually only speak when they actually really want to speak about something, which is it's kind of like a religious silence when you talk to them, which is very, very strange for someone who are actually used to noise all the time and people engaging in conversations. But I really appreciate everyone, because we're so different. Yeah, and I'd like to thank again all of the guests who come in. You always get an invitation for these webinars. And I would like to say I'd like to ask Nathan. Nathan, you live in California, right?
Florida.
Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so in you, Keiko, where do you live?
About an hour and a half near the Magic Kingdom.
I live in Lawrenceville, Georgia, basically Atlanta, Georgia. So it's a driving distance from me to go to Nathan.
Okay, because yeah, I'm in my head, I'm picturing the two of you meeting.
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah.
Neo, the house where I had the near-death experience was in Atlanta.
Wow.
It was actually in Douglasville. Do you know
Douglasville, Georgia.
Yes. About 15 miles west of Atlanta. That's where I was living.
This is another synchronicity, and I've been actually through Neo too, and then I'm aware of the channel bias on the fence. Okay, yeah, I'm biased on the fence, and I was sometimes that thoughts came that I wanted to interview you, Nathan, because I have a spiritual channel based in Japan. And I have interviewed Neo Glimmer. I have interviewed several other spiritual speakers or healers or channelers here in the Western societies. Yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to say something to Nathan, because I don't know if he knows this. Just yesterday, there was a movie on television here, which is kind of old, but it's with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock Johnson. But it's a movie. I don't know if it's Disney or something, which I think it's The Mystery Island or something like this, where they have to go to this mysterious island that nobody knows. They figured out in the books of Jules Verne. Which
Escape to Mystery Island or something.
Yeah,
like
I think it's like that. Do you know there's a guy already in the Mystery Island? Do you know what they call him in the movie? Colonel Sanders.
That's funny.
I mean, it's insane, because I see names of all the people I'm meeting, or whether I see the name of Sam, or either I see the name of Gabriel, Jesus. So you come and choose, but I always see names of people who I'm meeting along the way, whether it's in the songs, the YouTube videos, or the television, and it's telling me that we're on the right track, because it's like it's imprinting in reality. Yeah, Jessica, please.
So it's the second time or third time actually that it's come up, of course, divine number 3. But so when you were talking about Sam, and then we go to, you were also talking about twin flames for completion, and you kept mentioning it, but it popped in my head already right away earlier, but it's time to bring it out. So another confirmation with it as well. My name, if you look, Jessica Sanchez, so there's the A, of course, and the S's in there. But now that I got married, my husband's last name is Romo. So now I have the M to complete my Sam, which is also with my twin flame. I already had the S and the A, and now the M into my name. So, you know, it's just kind of, you can find it wherever you need to, but it's just kind of beautiful confirmations as well. Anytime you're doubting something, you know, you can, yes, we can always look for things when we're trying to look for things, but when they really come up and they just keep talking about it and keep talking about it, it keeps coming up. It's beautiful to have those confirmations, and it might not always be exactly in your name, but it might be in things around you, because like you said, each one of us have that Christ-like, that's why we always say in Christianity, you're all made in the likeness of God, right? It's so that we can be so aware of the light that we have within, but it have to be Sam. It's my favorite phone is a Samsung, you know, anything else as well. So I prefer that than the Apple. So I have an iPhone for business, but so I could do FaceTime if I need to with somebody, but my personal phone is a Samsung. So even if it's not in your exact name, it can still be around, but it's kind of just funny the way everything went through today as well. And it had already been in my head as soon as you said Sam. That was the first thing that came into my head. And it's come up a few more times. And then now it was like, no, you have to share this and just put it out there. But, you know, especially with the twin flames, it's also confirmation. It is the right one, you know, stick to purpose. And he and I both know that. But, you know, I already have the S, I already had the A, and now I have my M, you know.
Yeah.
So,
It's funny because now that you mention, Masako has Sam, but it's backwards.
yeah, she does as well. I was going to say.
Masai is Sam, but it's backwards.
Masai, you also have some. Masai.
はい。
そうだ、すごい。
そう、マサイさんの名前もちゃんとサムが入ってますよ。
そうなんですね。はい。
ちゃんと名前を逆に形
Wow, what a coincidence. It's not a coincidence.
自分で気づかなかったです。ああ、本当だ。わあ、びっくりしました。
I'm living with my soon to be daughter-in-law whose name is Sam.
あ、本当サム、SAM。はい。びっくりです。
No, it's so funny because it's how I don't know what kind of magic is this. I've talked extensively with Nathan on private conversations, and it's mind-blowing. For example, I went to the dentist and I saw this machine saying Eden, and I've talked about with Nathan the number 144. So I think it was 2 weeks later. He says, you are not going to believe this, but I went to the dentist and I entered the room in the dentist was 144 and he took a picture. And I'm like, how is this even possible, Nathan? This is impossible.
Well, and if I may, the things that came into my mind when you first said Sam, well, how do we spell God? G-O-D, three letters, right? And Sam, 3 letters. 144, that's, if you add it up, it's 9, which you divide it, it's down to 3. So it's still that magical number of whether you want to say Father, Son, Holy Spirit, the Holy Trinity, Earth, Wind, Fire. You know, there's so many different significance of the number 3 and 9 and moving on in numerology as well. So it completely makes sense that it's 144. It completely makes sense that it would be Sam, which in the Hebrew name does mean what it means, but then if you're looking in the English words, we spell God just G-O-D, and you're looking at Sam just 3 instead of the longer name. So there's so many, it's not synchronicities, it's just awakenings, you know, and it's beautiful. So thank you for assisting in bringing that much more forward to all of us and all of our confirmations.
Yeah,
and also I will mention that Sam in Gematria is 33. That's the number. So there's the 3s again.
All right. Yeah, I had completely forgotten about this. So it's been quite late and probably we all have to go pretty soon. So I would like to give a chance for Marie and Teda to talk with us a little bit because they've been the most quiet.
Yes, please. Please share with us anything you would like to share or any questions. Or maybe next week's topic that you would like us to discuss or Neo to talk about?
I'm really happy to be in this seminar, and I'm looking forward to many more.
Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you. Teda?
I guess I would like to say that I had a near-death experience in 1979, and I found out that my soul had volunteered to come here to help hold the light. And I found Dolores Cannon's book and found out more about that. And then I was very drawn to Neo's experience because I had been told that my future self had come back to experience the ascension that has already actually happened. And we are going through the remembering of that. And so when I heard Neo's experience, I thought that is very similar to my own, and I was very drawn to that. So it's been quite interesting. And I really enjoyed the last YouTube that you did, Neo. That was brilliant, just brilliant information. And so I'm along for the ride to do what I can do and to hold the light and bring this into the world for the ascension of all.
Thank you. That's amazing to hear, because I think you're the first one who validates that part of my experience, because I haven't spoke about this. Is you're meeting with the ascension means meeting with your future self, which is actually the original part of you. So this is the other missing half. Everything is symbolical. Finding the twin flame means you're finding the missing half. But your true missing half is where you originally started, and then you engaged in the dream, in these dimensions. And they told me exactly that. You will not believe this, but we are you, but not yet. We are the future you. We are the beginning of you. And the only way that we can tell you what this is that we are the Father, the Son, and the child, all in one. We just have the idea that we're split apart, but we're all the same being. And when I described those beings, what was actually interesting to me is they look so different of this human species.
Yes.
They are so much beautiful. Every time they think of something, there's a glow. There's like an ignition of fire when they think about speaking. They don't have to verbalize what they're talking. They just have to think about it. And there's this light that lights up. And I'm thinking, maybe we do this all the time. We just cannot see it because we just see the flesh. But I think we do this all the time. Every time we speak, we first think of it. So we must be igniting this fire already, but we just don't have the chance to see it like they do. But they are us. That was my experience. They are us. So everything else is just fiction. I think it's fiction, and thank you for watching my latest video, because that was something that people will not, you have to reach a certain degree of spirituality to really understand the idea how you might actually be pure good, but you're experiencing this polarity of evil because you, in the beginning, you didn't understand what you had. It was so good, nice, but you had no knowledge of how to keep it. So you had to go on this big journey, big book of evil to learn all the trickery and then say, hey, I got it. Then I understand how cool good was, how nice good feels because of the polarity. So thank you again. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I was wondering if I could make a comment.
Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
Yeah, I left my email address If anybody would like free readings, you can buy the dice. I'll show you where to get them. I'll show you how to throw the letters. And you can send me the letters, and I'll decode them, and I'll send you the reading by email. But I would like it to be done mostly through Skype conversation, so that it's not just, emailing back and forth.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Jim. Yeah. It's on the chat.
So yes, please, if anybody who wants Jim's reading, dice reading, please write it down. His Skype name is Revelist, REVELARTIST 71. So you can look for him on Skype by typing REVELARTIST 71. And also say his email address is same thing, not 71 actually. REVELARTIST7 @gmail.com.
Thank you, Keiko. Yeah, I think we should end it here, and because it's been so long. And I thank you all. Even Nathan, I thought you were going.
Oh yes, thank you so much, Nathan, for speaking. Yes.
I was expecting not to be able to say the whole thing, so I'm very. I did want to share before we close a funny story that happened yesterday. If we have a second.
Yeah, sure.
So I've been on this strict diet. I lost 100 pounds, and I've been very strict. And yesterday I was thinking I was going to cheat on my diet. So there's this restaurant here called Cracker Barrel. I'm sure those of you in the United States know it. And they cook soul food, Southern food, very fattening. So I said to Sam, I'm in the car driving, and the Lord of the Rings music is playing, and I said, I'm going to go to Cracker Barrel and I'm going to cheat on my diet. Is that okay with you? Give me a sign. So I'll just show you. So when I get there to get a table, I don't know if you can see this on the phone, but I took a picture. This is the host. His name is Sam. And it says on his apron, S-A-M. And he was very short. He looked like a hobbit. That's how little this guy was. And there's Sam Ganji in Lord of the Rings. So I had to laugh with the hair, and he's real tiny, and he's got Sam on his apron. So I thought that was Sam's way to say, it's okay, go ahead and cheat on the diet today. And he took me to my table.
That is amazing.
These little funny things that are always happening. Once you know the name, it's like a cosmic wave. It just sort of, hi, we're here. We'll use the name Sam, so you'll see it. But Sam can also be a female name, and we have female Sams, and so it's gender neutral, and I think that's important too. Just because I saw a male figure doesn't mean that Sam has to be male in appearance. There's a feminine version there too.
Yes. I was going to save it because this is going to be for the next webinar, which is the story of twin flames. And Netflix released the movie called Io, The Last Ones on Earth. Io is the moon of Jupiter. And in the movie, they have to pick or to go to the last ship to the colony on Jupiter. But it's actually a movie about twin flames. And the actress, the main character, it's a young girl. And her name, the character, they give the name of the character, Sam. You only know that it's Samantha, like in the middle of the movie. It's Sam. And it's amazing synchronicity because when I met my twin flame, her name is Ilo. But when you read this with the L looks like an I, so it's Io. And when I got my my audio equipment with the Samsung mic, the Samsung keyboard, I got this audio board where you can plug in the mics. And you can record a guitar and a mic, and it was called IO as well. And then I was like, what did this mean? Why did this name IO keep appearing? And actually, my twin flame, the full name means Helen. It's the Polish version of Helen, and her middle name is Sophia. And in the movie, in the IO movie, when I met my twin flame, I knew that she was my twin flame because I had a dream about her when I was 5 years old, and we got the chance to meet. And in that movie, the IO, the last ones on Earth, it starts with that girl whose name is Sam, with the dream of her being at the beach, which was exactly my dream. And in the end of the movie, they reveal it's about the journey of Zeus, like Jesus. They have this picture of the lady and the swan, and Zeus is represented by the swan, and they give the explanation. Actually, they have this line in the beginning of the movie that says that the human being was split in two halves and actually had 4 arms and 2 faces. And then the human being was split in half. So it was about the twin flame, like the male and the female was glued together in one being, and it was split apart. So it's all about synchronicity, and this is what I want to have with all of you. And we already had it in Japan because I was talking about the 144, and suddenly when I start talking about this, even Masako Stewart took the screenshot. We had 144 people in the webinar counting with us at the same time that I was speaking about. You can't just make this up. You can't fake it. It's too much. Sometimes it's overwhelming, and we need to really balance ourselves. Okay, breathe, you know, but yeah, so thank you all of you for being here with us, and I hope you guys join us next time, and then next time, and make the family bigger.
Yes, please stick with us. Let's have a wonderful journey together. It has begun. It really has begun. The best part has just begun.
Thank you very much. It was nice meeting everyone.
Thank you very much. So, okay, so we are going to send you guys the link of this video, and this is going to be uploaded to my. Would you want to do that, Neo, your channel?
No, actually, I like to keep on Keiko's channel because she has less views.
Okay.
And this one, if you want to do it, if no one doesn't mind, it can be public. Sometimes, you know, or either you put in private or non-listed and then share the links, because some of the information we put out, if it goes to the public, you get attacked and, you know, all of that kind of feelings that we really don't need. But yes, you do what you please.
So if you want us to, you want this video to go to the public, we have to have permissions from each one of you guys.
That's up to them. That's what I say. I prefer to be non-listed or private, only for those who again being able to see it if they want to.
I think it should kept private.
Yeah.
I think so. It's going to be posted as unlisted in my YouTube channel, and the link will be sent to you. And next week's webinar, it's the same Zoom link. So please don't forget to join next week, same time and same exactly 1 week from now.
Yes, it's Saturday, and it's the same time.
Eastern time, 2:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. in
For me, yes.
From Portugal, UK time is
Yeah, it's 7:30. Yes.
7:30. So same
7:30.
link, same Zoom link, and you will receive the link to this video. And from now on, when we are going to periodically have a private group webinar gatherings, so the link should remain the same. You think? Link should be the same
For us?
for us.
I don't know. We can discuss this later.
Okay,
But
all right. So
yeah,
we will
and
let
inform
you know.
everyone.
We
Yes.
will let you guys know.
Yeah. So yeah. So I hope you will. Yeah. Thank you so much, and hope this was uplifting because that's what we want.